How do sorcerers work out? They hexercise. What's going on, YouTube? The secrets of the Telvanni are being uncovered with the Secrets of the Telvanni event starting today. Got a whole lot to cover, but I wanted to talk about the important parts of basically how you can farm this event, because obviously there's a whole lot of little things you can do, and I was farming, doing different things earlier today, doing a little experimentation, if you will, thinking, what is the most efficient way to farm this if you're looking for different things, rewards, XP, if you're looking for money, what should you do, and what, in general, are the great things to get while this event is active? To start off, I actually wanted to talk about this little Mouth of Gillis fella here. He is actually the daily quest vendor that you need to go to if you want to complete the challenge and get your daily quest tickets. You do not need to do the long mission over there at the Bastion Mimic. You can instead go here. I would encourage you guys to do Bastion Mimics at least once. I think it's a little fun, but you don't have to. This is going to be your daily quest vendor that you go to, and you can pick between the two community rewards. And at the end of that daily quest, you're going to be able to pick if you wish to favor Yenasa or Trailacy, and that is actually going to influence which reward is given. I believe this will be updated daily, so it's still dead even, but you will be able to pick, do you want the community to get a cool book or a music box? I lean towards the cool book. I just like that there's like these things emulating off of it, and I'm like, that's pretty neat. But that is where you're going to get your event and daily tickets that you're going to be able to utilize at the Imprezo. Not really going to focus on the Imprezo a whole lot. I don't think there's really anything cool there. But let's talk about what you guys should do if you want to maximize your earnings in this event. And this might be exceptionally simple, but I think that the number one way to farm this event is to farm resources. The actual waterways, as well as the areas in both the Telvanni Peninsula and Apocrypha, have exceptionally boosted zones with the changes coming in the next update to how materials are going to work for jewelry crafting. I think it's a great time if you wanted to unload some of those grains. Also, as you pick up resources, you have the ability to get the actual reward boxes as well. My suggestion would be is basically just pick up everything, and we'll talk a little bit about the perks in just one second. The number one areas you can be in are generally the coastal ways, in my opinion. I think being next to the water has the best drop rate for resources. But overall, I think that if you're looking at being in the waterways in Telvanni Peninsula, you're probably going to have a little bit more competition with people because there's more people here. But if you go to Apocrypha, there's definitely going to be more resources, but they're going to be harder to see. So how do you kind of scale those two things together? And the number one way is obviously you're going to want to make sure that you have the perks to make these things faster as well as easier to get. So what are those things that you need to make this easier? And those are going to be the keen eye passives. They're going to make it easier when you spot things out in the wild. It's going to make it exceptionally easier when you're in the Apocrypha zone because the whole zone is very green. And having a little bright, shiny light to show, hey, this is where this at, is going to make it a lot easier. Also, you're going to want to make sure that you have specific champion points. I think that you're going to definitely want to make sure that you have plentiful harvests as well as master gather. I also would pick up treasure hunter because as you kind of go through the zones, there's a good chance that you're going to find treasure chests, and you're going to want to get good items from those treasure chests because, why not? And so that's going to be a really good option for you to get. Another must-have consideration is the Ring of the Wild Hunt. That is going to give you extra movement speed that's going to be essential, in my opinion, to making this a much easier grind for you. It's going to make you 45% faster out of combat and 15% in combat, which is pretty incredible, in my opinion, and it's going to make this exceptionally profitable to do. You can see even that we've got a little bit of a respawn here right behind us while we were just talking about it, and you can see up the way, with our little handy-dandy harvester perk, we're able to see even more items as they come back up again. This is fairly competitive, but that's where we can switch to the Apocrypha zone. And instead of having little pieces of wood trees, you'll have scrap wood and other materials down here. They can be significantly harder to pick up, but we'll get ourselves a little bit of a lead. You're going to be able to find them in the same way. I would definitely encourage you guys to go along the coastlines and be just far enough to where you can see your little bright lights and circle around the zones. It's definitely got a lot of resources in it, but also there is a lot more enemies in this zone, and that's where it can become a little bit trickier if you're looking to farm something safely. But it's a great way to get those boxes as well as materials, because you're going to need these materials in just your overall ESO life, whether it's upgrading, making gold, or kind of really just anything in between. And the double resource drops from the secret of the Telvanni Peninsula makes this definitely worth doing. But if raw materials aren't your thing, what are some other things that you can do to get some juicy rewards? And that is daily quests. Daily quests drop from Necrom right here. I've already done one of these little fellas, but you can get 3 daily quests per character. Do them. It's going to take you to a delve, a world boss, and then the third one is going to make you do a Bastion Mimic, which are not as intimidating as they seem. Just when you go to the Apocrypha zone, just go to a group that's doing it and get in there and kill the little thingamabobs, and you're good. You turn in your daily quest. Why a daily quest over raw material harvesting? I would say the main benefits are you get a higher chance to get things like motifs, furnishing plans, and the new style pages. So that's kind of the benefit to doing it this way versus that way. But overall, I would think that they're both very good. And let's talk about some honorable mentions. And that is just AFK farming yourself some world bosses. And is an important distinction when you're doing this and anything in these zones. Make sure that you are using your Necrom companions. That is Azander and Mr. Knives. The reason you do this is because they're the ones that are going to give you the boosted odds for companion gear. And for those of you who don't know, companion gear is some of the most valuable items in the game. Unfortunately, the reason why it is so valuable is because most companion gear pieces aren't helpful, aren't worth a lot, but the ones that are really worth a lot. So it's really important to kind of make sure that you're rolling for those very profitable items. I was able to get a heavy shoulder piece earlier that had the increased health trait, and I was able to make about 330,000 gold profit just by listing it up and then selling it. People love their companions, and as more companions are added to the game, companion gear only increases in value and only becomes more desirable. And make sure that you're always doing every opportunity you can to get it. But dear friends, that's going to wrap up the video. I hope this was helpful. As always, I really enjoy, talking to you guys and talking about the latest and greatest when it comes to what's going on in the Elder Scrolls Online. As a reminder, the month is almost over. We're doing 3 giveaway drawings for this month. All you have to do is like the video, be subscribed, and then listen for a random word to be flashed upon the screen. If you're the first person to comment that word that is only on one video throughout the month, you will win. I want to thank you guys again for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jake Clips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.
Not a whole lot to say after the post-outro. Just always excited to be here with you guys, making these videos. We've been on the daily hot streak for a while now, so super stoked to be able to kind of continue to keep up the actual pace that, in my opinion, the Elder Scrolls Online requires, because there's always stuff to talk about. I always feel like there's just more and more things to do and say and talk about, so that's why I enjoy content creation on ESO so much, is I truly feel that there's always something to talk about. So I want to thank you guys again for getting me to this point. I'll see you later. Bye, guys.